Hey, what's up? What's going on? It's your girl Mary Jane. Please like, subscribe to my YouTube channel. It'd be greatly appreciated from the bottom of my heart, my peeps, my peoples. So, anyways, the challenge, Dirty 30, just came out. Well, it didn't just come out. I just realized that it's been out basically. So, happy and not so happy. So, we're just gonna talk about some of the things that stood out to me, and you can tell me some things that stood out to you in the comments, and then we can converse about it. But yeah, I've been watching the challenge since God knows when. And, we'll go over some of the players. Like, I'm so glad to see Anissa. She's back. And I'm just going to say, for the ladies, I hope Anissa brings it home, because she has competed in so many challenges and she hasn't won. She has made so many different mistakes. She's done so much in the history of the challenge that you be like, damn, Anissa, you should have won this challenge. You should have won in that elimination. And you just be like shocked, because I had a lot of hopes that Anissa would win or whatever. But she's been on and on and on this show, and she hasn't won once. So hopefully maybe she'll win this year. Do you think this is a possibility, or am I just talking with hair? With air in my head, basically. And so there's somebody new. His name is Ammo. And Ammo is a character. He's different. He looks different. He dressed different. He acts different. He's not masculine and in so many different words, but he does have masculinity and some types of forms and shapes or whatever. But he does kind of like hint on some of metaphysics and some of the things he talks about. So he's kind of aware of a lot of conscious things. And so we got Amanda. Amanda, she's back. I believe Amanda was a nurse. And, she ended up losing last year. Or did she? No, she didn't win last year. Well, so far, she got beef with Jenna and Kayla. And, she's doing her thing. And Ashley M. What happened to Ashley M? What is wrong with Ashley M? Like, I always root for Ashley M. Even though she's backstabbing and two-faced and all this other stuff. But there's something that you kind of like about the girl. But then she just totally left this season. She left in the beginning of the season. She just totally bounced. Before anything started, she bounced. She was like, I can't deal with this. She just had a breakdown. Maybe it was just too much. But anyways, this challenge, Dirty 30, is supposed to be the most rotten, mean, low down, backstabbing, two-faced, no good, no character type of people. And so that's why I was surprised Darrell is there, because he's never led on to that. I've never seen him be low down or dirty or two-faced. Whatever. We got Johnny Bananas. He's back. He's stirring the pot. He's doing what he needs to do. But he has an enemy that's coming for him. And you know who's coming for Bananas? Cory. Cory is coming for Bananas. And so Camila has been she slept with Cory the second episode, I believe. And Camila, people are scared of Camila. The females are scared of Camila, and so are some of the males are scared of Camila. Camila, I think she's Cuban. They're scared of her. And Carl Marie, she's back with full force. She's a good character. She's very good at eliminations, and people always try to put her down, but she always gets through and she always wins. But not always wins. She does get eliminated sometimes. But she's a really, really good athlete. And I root for her to win too. And Cory, I always root for Cory to win. He's a new young buck. He reminds me of some of the old players that when they first came into the challenge and they were young or whatever. But it seems like he likes to use his dingling way too much, so it could be a benefit to him and it could be hurtful to him. But right now it's beneficial to him, because some of the girls won't go against him. And last challenge, he was hooking up with Camila, and Camila blames Cory that she didn't win last season because of Cory, and Cory was a weakling and all this other stuff, and he kind of like had meltdowns. She had meltdowns. It was terrible. So that's probably why it's not good to sleep with your partner or your opponent sometimes. But she did stand up for him when they wanted to put him in the elimination, and she wouldn't vote for him. So Hey, and Dario's back, and Dario has, proven his image. I mean, like, his image has got a lot better. When he first came onto the challenge, I could not stand him. I just thought he was so conceited, so ignorant, and blah, blah, blah. But now he's proven he's changed a lot. He's very more mature. He doesn't drink. He don't get into drama. He's on the low. Like, when he gets into his stuff, he doesn't tell people what he's doing now. He's more calculating, and he's more playing chess. But I don't know how long that's going to last, because he might get slumped in with the Cory and the what is his name, Nelson drama. And so Cory and Nelson are together now. They're like brothers from another mother so far. And only thing with Nelson is Nelson just messes up. He gets too drunk, and sometimes he doesn't know how to hold his emotions, and he gets overly emotional. Like the last episode, he got really drunk and tried to fight Johnny Bananas. And if what's his name, Derek, if Derek didn't Derek K didn't like hold him back or whatever and bring him in, he would have got kicked off. And it's kind of weird because Nelson did Cory wrong, kinda, but then he kind of explained it like a weasel, like, oh, I went this way when they did their rounds, when they did their thing, and then Cory got eliminated or whatever. So, but he said last season that he wasn't, because he got really drunk and he really acted up last season. He said he wasn't going to do it again, and he got drunk again. So I just wish these people, some of the players would just, I know it's probably stressful to be filmed and to be in a house of all these people, and then everyone's fighting for the same thing. They're fighting for the money, and then you got to deal with personalities and people playing tricks and stirring the pot. But I just wish he wouldn't get drunk. He's proven himself as being a much better person, but then sometimes he slither back and being a snake. And we got Darrell, and Darrell, he got eliminated in the first round, the first episode, by none other than Cory. And it's Darrell kind of roots for the underdog, and he also roots for like his brothers, his sisters, people that has melanin like him or whatever. So so it was him and like two teams left, and he was like, if he gets picked to have to pick somebody to be eliminated, he won't pick Cory, because he said he likes Cory, blah blah blah, and all this other stuff. And then when so Darrell ended up losing, and it's like Darrell has gotten off to a rough start this season. Darrell, and I would like for Darrell to win too as well. He's one of the people I'm rooting to win. And so anyways, when Cory end up being the person that can send people home, because now the 30-30 is really different. Like you put right on spot who you want to send home, then you have to go to the double elimination round, where you either pick an X or you pick a double X, and then you can throw somebody in. So basically you can't hide who you hate or who you dislike, because you have to, your cards have to be on the table most of the time. It's so hard to hide who you are, who you really rooting for, or who you really teamed up with. So Cory had eliminated Shane, and then he had to choose one more person, and that was Darrell. Darrell was shocked. He was like, I'm coming for you, brother. And Darrell was hurt. And then also, also with getting eliminated, they have done this before, where when you get eliminated, you go into the redemption house. So you're not totally eliminated, but you get sent to the redemption house. But only thing about this redemption house, when they did this like 2 seasons ago, the redemption house that they had these guys actually training. It's like these people are just chilling in this house. They had a house where it had a gym, it had all types of stuff for them to work out. I don't see this yet in this redemption house. So anyways, Darrell's coming for Cory. But Cory's coming, so he's coming for actually, what is his name? Johnny Bananas and Derek H. And Derek H is new to the show. So, once Cory eliminated Darrell, all the OGs was like, yo, Cory just put a target on his back, because he said when Cory had eliminated Darrell, he said that he don't want to be facing him at the end, because he's a really good player and he don't think that he can beat him. So the OG, double OG, players was like, well then, that means that any chance that he gets, he's going to be going after the OGs or whatever. So he doesn't want to, battle anybody that can actually beat him. So he put a target on his back. And then Cory stupidly admits that he has a hit list. And some of the people that assume that they're on a hit list are not on a hit list. Only Johnny Bananas, Derek H, and Devon was on a hit list. CT wasn't on a hit list. And, Johnny Bananas is a fume in the fire saying that, oh, Cory's coming after me and, coming after Johnny Bananas and CT, in which Cory didn't have CT on his hit list, but I think now CT is probably on his hit list. But anyways, so Cory always puts his foot in the mouth in the game where he displays all his cards openly. He's not good at strategy with dealing with people and outsmarting them mentally where they don't know what he's doing or where he's at. He really acts off of emotions a lot of sometimes. He really goes off emotions a lot. But now, he slept with Camila, he slept with Kayla, and he slept with Anissa. And then the second night he ended up tongue kissing Anissa. The first night tongue kissing Anissa, the second night the second night he ended up tongue kissing Anissa, and then French kissing her, and then he ended up actually having sex with Camila in the bushes, and he hasn't hooked back up with Kayla. I think he's really pissed off at Kayla getting drunk and pissing her pants last season. So anyways, then Jenna was the winner. It was Cory. And Jenna was the winner, and they can eliminate people. Jenna decided to eliminate Simone and LaToya. She eliminated them right off the bat. I can understand LaToya because they kind of had a little bit of differences last season, but Simone. And so then she chose to cap Jimmy, and I like Jimmy because Jimmy is just too much. She used to be whiny, cryy, and all that other stuff. She totally changed. And so her boyfriend did pass away from a drug overdose. I forgot his name. She is from Real World, Louisiana. And actually, Jenna saved her. And everybody was like, oh, Jimmy, you owe Jenna now. And when Jimmy went to her... when she went to her confessional, she was like, I don't owe fucking Jenna shit. So anyways... And then on top of that, you got Tony. Tony ended up getting drunk, and he promised that he won't be getting drunk anymore because he got eliminated because he was drunk last time. And he has a drinking problem, and so he gets into it with Camila for no reason. Carla Marie, he gets into her. He goes, oh, you look like my mother. And she goes, well, your mother must really look good for 60 years old. Then he's thinking that she's trying to diss his mother. And so, but Johnny Bananas, I'm surprised he went to go save Tony to make sure he didn't go after Carla Marie. Carla Marie was like, I'm voting you in regardless because of your action. But then she changed her mind at the last minute and she threw an ammo just to go with the vote. But she totally read Tony. She called him worthless, no good. She said Elmo's better than you. He's been better than you. You haven't showed anything. Every season you get eliminated quick. I don't know why people believe the hype in you. You're just a loser. And she was like, you need to know how to pull out or wear a condom because you got all these kids. She went in, which was rude and disrespectful, but she was pissed. You know how Carla Marie is sometimes. Sometimes you can really like and sometimes you can really hate her ass. And so we got Derek H, and he's in a relationship with Tori, and they're like ride or die, they say, whatever. But Derek H and Tori, their relationship reminds me of, because he's doing really bad in the challenges where he's always coming in the bottom, and Tori's always coming out on the winning side, the winning team, and she's never in the eliminations. And so she goes to talk to Derek H in the room. Let me make sure that's his, Derek H in the room, and he's like, yo, baby, if it was something with puzzles, if it was something with endurance or muscles or whatever, I would have totally won or whatever. And then, him and her are having a conversation, and they're like, if we both win this money, we're going to have babies. Derek H remind me of a guy that makes so many promises to you and really have a high self-esteem and really believe that he can do it, but he always falls short. And Tori, she reminds me of the woman that always pats him on the back and know deep inside he's not going to do anything, he's not going to be successful, but she loves him so much and she believes in him so much that even though that voice in the back of her head saying he just can't do it, but you still root for, you just hope You still root for him to win. You still hope because he's your man and you love him. But he's just the guy that always makes promises and breaks them. Not because he wants to break them. He just can't live up to his own hype. And you got Devon. He's trying to use his brain. He's trying to manipulate people. And he's grimy. I don't know. I don't have a beef with him or anything. But I know he was kind of negative on some season or I seen him on. And Hunter's back. I like Hunter. I think Hunter's a good player. He's very cocky, but he usually proves his cockiness, and he can back up what he says until he loses. And then you got Jenna. Like I told you, Jenna, she eliminated Simone and she eliminated Latoya, but they end up going to the Redemption House. So Darrell, Toya and Simone, they're in the Redemption House right now. And so then Jenna got eliminated last night. Jenna got eliminated last night, and I'm surprised Kayla was able to beat Jenna because, you know, Jenna's a pro, but Kayla has proven over and over and over that she's a good player. She really messed up last season when she got so hooked up into Cory, and she was out of mind and out of pocket with that relationship where she totally gave up on herself. But she beat Jenna. And, you know, and guess who threw Jenna under the bus? Because when you go to the elimination round, you either, if you pick the X, you still possibly can be eliminated. But if you pick the double X, that means you can throw somebody in. So Jimmy gets the double X, and she turned around and she looked at Jenna. She said Jenna, and everybody was like, "Whoa!" Oh, and everybody was like, "Oh, she did it!" And then Jenna was like, "Oh my God, these backstabbers!" So people always acting like they like Jenna, but a lot of people ain't feeling her. They're not feeling Jenna this season, and they're not right now. So you know how these motherfuckers change. Right now, they're not feeling Jenna, and they're really not feeling Camila, because Camila acting like she got close ties to Cory, and Camila was like, "I don't give a fuck," you know. So you know, what's his name? Johnny Banana stirring the pot against Camila. And then so also CT feels like Camila can't be trusted. She can't be down with the old dog team or whatever, the OGs. And Derek is kind of feeling the same way. I like Derek. He's another person I would like to see win. I would like to see Derek win. I think he's always been a good guy on all these shows. I think he shows a lot of humility and everything. I really think he's a good guy in these shows. Just like Darrell. I think Darrell's an excellent guy, excellent father, and he shows a lot of value and a lot of character. And you know, people looking at Latoya like, hey, she's gonna end up whatever. And so he was like, you know what, I'm gonna look out for Latoya. I'm gonna look out for my sister. Even though my brother Cory threw me under the bus for Tony, and Tony's nothing but a fucking completely drunk. But and then, you know, Cory had the nerve to say, oh, the reason why I'm gonna eliminate you, Darrell, is because Tony has kids. Darrell got fucking kids too, nigga. So anyways, but now Tony got eliminated anyway last night, but he might be going to the Redemption House, and Jenna might be going to the Redemption House unless they cut it off, because you know at a certain point they cut off how many players can go in the Redemption House. So anyways, Tony lost to Ammo. Ammo beat the shit out of Tony. Tony got all the way to the top and fell. Then Tony was like, you know, I got drunk last night. Nelson got drunk last night, but lucky Nelson, and he didn't pay for his consequences. He ended up picking a double X and then throwing me in. And so then, you know, Tony was like, so that's the way it goes. Some people pay for their problems, for what they do. Karma come back to them quicker. I generally, like, I root for Tony too, because I feel like, damn, man, he just got too many problems, and he put his foot in his own mouth. Jordan's back. Jordan looks like a porn star. He looks like John Combs or whatever. Is that his name? John Combs, the porno star? John Combs. No, John Holmes. He looks like John Holmes. That's who Jordan looks like. Jordan is quiet. He's riding under the radar right now. CT is beasting it and being a beast, and he's doing good. CT's coming here to win and get some more money, and he's letting everybody know why he should be here. Bree, she's doing her thing. She won one round. Brittany won one round. And who else? And Leroy. Another thing, Leroy. I love Leroy. I loved him on Vegas. Real World. I like Leroy's character, but he did something that pissed me off a couple of years ago when he went against his own brother. But then You know, Leroy want me back over again. So I'm rooting for Leroy. I'm always rooting for Leroy. He's another one that's been on these motherfucking challenges and never won. So I'm rooting for him to finally win. You know what I mean? I'm rooting for him to finally win. And Leroy, Ammo was showing Leroy how to swim and shit like that. Leroy, you've been on these challenges forever and you still don't know how to swim. I'm disappointed that you still don't know how to swim, Leroy. What the fuck's going on? So anyways, and then at the Redemption House, Shane, which is I believe is Tony's brother, he's totally all fucked up just like his brother. They got issues, which we all got issues or whatever, but sometimes they're displayed on TV and people can pick up on them and judge them on it or whatever. But Simone, you know, she cooks, she cleans, and she hooks up everybody in the house. She cleans the house, she cooks or whatever. She's being the nice person. She does, you know, little nice things and do little like shows for everybody. So she asks Shane, and Shane is a hairdresser, and she asks LaToya if one of them could grease her scalps or whatever, and they both decline. And Shane declining, and he's a hairdresser, is like, wow. But then LaToya declining, she knows black girls need their scalps greased or whatever, and she was like, that sounds like a personal issue, that sounds like, you know, personal stuff that you could do on your own. And I totally understand both Shane and LaToya being adamant about not wanting to help her. So Simone was thinking that she does so much for them and make things comfortable for them that they would do that for her. She finds out no, they wouldn't. And so then she kind of gets upset. She goes outside, she talks to Devon about it, and Shane is eavesdropping, ear hustling, and he jumps into the conversation. So he hits her in the face twice, she says. Then she scratched up his face, and then you know, she busts a bottle and she holds it up in the air, and then she gets eliminated for that. And it's so bad. I feel so bad for Simone because, you know, when that man hit her, you know, I know she got her a wake-up call, being so comfortable, being so nice around these people, and, you know, helping them out, cooking for them, cleaning, just being a normal, nice human being, which sometimes being too nice is the wrong thing because I was told I was too nice. So anyways, Shane hitting her must have hurt a lot because it's a man hitting her, even though he's gay or whatever. It doesn't make it different. Him hitting her, thinking, you know, like he knows he's stronger than her, he hits her. And so basically she kind of like scratches his face and she gets the bottle. She was really upset and mad. I wish they didn't eliminate her, but their excuse of eliminating her is because she busted a bottle and she had it open. But she would never gonna do that again, but they're gonna say that's a liability because, you know, MTV, you know, a lot of people of color get eliminated for the most dumbest shit in the past that has happened. And, you know, MTV did have a lot of problems with racism at one point in time. It has gotten a lot better, but yo, for him, off the rip, from him hitting her and him being a man like that, and then to turn around throwing in her face that you gotta go home. I know it's probably because of insurance or whatever, but I think that was wrong that she got sent home. But I do understand why they did send her home. But it's kind of like fucked up when LaToya could have just greased her hair, even though she didn't want to. And it's not like Simone went to go fight anybody. She was outside having a little discussion with, you know, what's his name, Devon, and somebody else. Who's Devon, and who else is in that house? I think Devon and Amanda, right? Who else is in the house with her? Who else is in the house with her? Unless Marie's in the house with her. Maybe it's Marie or Amanda's in the house with her, and she was just talking, she wasn't yelling, and then this dude come up or whatever. But the funny thing about it is, you know, Simone was acting like she was a fortune teller or whatever, a voodoo doctor or whatever, and she predicted that, you know, and one of her fortunes that Shane was going to get hit in the face, and he did get hit in the face by her. But it's something that totally shouldn't have happened. And it's like, damn, they get a second chance, and then, you know, in the Redemption House, and now Shane got sent home and Simone got sent home. It's like, no matter what, you always got to remember, even though you're comfortable around all these people, Caucasian people, and you feel like, you know, you guys are just all human beings, and you guys are, but you also got to remember that at the end of the day, you're still a black woman, and you have to be careful of your surroundings, and you can't, things that you think you can get away with, you can't get away with. So busting that bottle, things that other people probably got away with it. And But anyways, that's just my opinion. I just think that's so fucked up that she got sent home after this man done fucking punched her in the face twice. And she ended up scratching him. She was trying to defend herself for dear motherfucking life. I don't know that having a man punch me in my face. I've never been punched in the face by a man, because I can only imagine how much it hurts. And then being, feeling helpless at the same time. And then you see a bottle and you're trying to defend yourself, because you have to defend yourself. You have a man punching you in your motherfucking face. So anyways, that did piss me off. But like I want to say is, always remember who you are. Don't get it twisted. And that's it. And LaToya, I would like to say, LaToya, you could have greased her hair and that shit would have never happened. You know what I mean? Tony would have never been eavesdropping and heard her conversation, even though it shouldn't have went down. But LaToya, you got to show more love to your sisters. You really do. You got to show more love to your sister, especially if this sister's cooking for you and she's cleaning up for you, and she's cooking meals and helping you on being nice towards you. You could have greased her scalp, LaToya. You ain't above it. You know what I mean? You fucked Nelson while you was there on like the second day, so you ain't really worried about body fluids and shit like that. But anyways, LaToya, just remember. And LaToya was getting drunk and all fucked up in the bar and acting all goofy. And that's when, Devon was like, look at LaToya, look how she's acting, pointing the finger right at her. And so that's when Darrell was like, yo, I'll straighten her out. Oh, she needs some guidance. Yeah, she needs some guidance, because sometimes us as black people get it twisted. Sometimes we feel like we're all human, and we're all just in this environment trying to win. But you also got to remember that you are black. Don't ever forget that you're black. Don't ever get too comfortable where you forget that you're black. And sometimes people are going to judge you more harshly than they would judge Becky or Susie. That's just how it is. That's just the situation. It's not being racist. It's just stating the facts. Because a cop will be more on me and disrespect me more, but then if he see Becky or Susie and we can have the same type of record and everything, he'll be much nicer to her than he will be to me. And like if a black girl and a white girl go into store together, most likely they're going to profile the black girl and follow her around and let Becky or Susie, walk freely through the store when Becky and Susie is probably stealing. But that's just how some people in society are, and that's how some things are. So that's, even though we want them to change, we can't forget who we are. We can't forget that we're black. So we have to carry ourselves so much different and be aware of so much and be very conscious of our environment and what we do. So anyways, let's see what time this is on. This is on 27 minutes. So who else do I want to talk about? What else stood out? Derek, I would like to see him win too as well, because he's a good guy. Hunter's a good guy too. Kayla, she's proven herself that she's actually a contender. She can be in this game, and she's someone not to fuck with. So Kayla, even though she pissed on herself last season, I'm feeling her this season, and she's kind of like trying to play Cory Dust. Nelson just needs to not drink and not let his emotions carry him around. So Shane and Simone was eliminated. Nicole, I don't really know much. I remember Nicole was Dario's partner, and I haven't seen much from her yet. Tori has shown that she's a good contender, and Veronica's back. I remember Veronica from like the ruins are way back, and I think didn't Veronica use her body to make sure she didn't get eliminated, and then they end up just shitting on her, and I think it was Johnny Bananas, and she was like, I'm used to being with the cool kids. Yeah, she was one of the cool kids, and I don't know if Tony got eliminated. I don't know if Gina got eliminated. They did get eliminated, but I don't know if they went to the Redemption House. And Carla Marie, she's coming for her man Cory, but Anissa's still feeling Cory, so I don't know what's going to happen with that situation. CT's focusing on the money, but he's down for the bullshit. Banana's focusing on the money and down for the bullshit. He's figuring out, but Banana plays mental games. And Ammo, he's proven himself, but people's not going to be really fucking with him anymore. And Dario's keeping his nose clean, and Derek H is in the Redemption House. So we'll see what happens next episode. So anyways, peace him out. That was just I just got caught up on all the episodes, but so far the challenge is crazy, and you don't know what to expect. It's like, whoa. And plus they telling the people that's only for $350,000, but it's really $1 million. So whoever wins will be a millionaire. Peace.